Welcome, Jayne. And how'd you get involved in this anyway?
I think it started when I was a reference librarian with a specialty in biological sciences, especially gardening and horticulture, because I'd spent 5 years as a branch librarian at the National Arboretum, gotten a liberal education there in the literature and science of gardening and horticulture. I became interested in organic gardening and farming, and pretty soon all the reference questions that came in on that subject were directed to me, and I developed quite a specialty. That led to my being assigned to a study team within the Science and Education Administration, of which the library was a part at the time. And I was assigned to develop a proposal for an organic farming information center, believe it or not, in 1980. It was proposed for the 1982 budget. This was never funded, so it died in natural death. But shortly after that, the report and recommendations on organic farming, chaired by a USDA team and written largely by Garth Youngberg, was published in July of 1980.
That's the one with the green cover?
Yeah, the green cover book. Garth was then hired as USDA's coordinator of organic farming activities. He put together a team of representatives from the various agencies, and NAL delegated me to be on that team. And between 1980, mid to late 1980 and 1982, we worked to develop recommendations to follow on the Green Report, what the department really should do to carry out these recommendations. The report was just barely completed and submitted but never published when administrations changed. Those who had asked for the report were no longer there. Garth Youngberg was caught in a rift situation and let go. So that really came to nothing except a lot of good experience. 4 people were then appointed to supposedly carry on the work that Garth Youngberg had been assigned.
Appointed by the USDA?
Yes, they were from the 4 agencies who then made up SEA, Cooperative State Research Service, Extension System, the Library, and Agricultural Research Service. And I was NAL's representative on that. We began dealing with, with negotiations on the Hill for more legislation that would support organic farming. There were lots of opponents and lots of proponents. There was, shortly after that, an organic farming bill introduced into Congress, and that went through 2 sessions, I think. It later became called the Agricultural Productivity Act, because it was thought that this would raise fewer hackles among the opponents. And so our group testified on those bills, and we answered correspondence for the Secretary's office when people would write to their congressman and the Secretary and say, why isn't the department doing more on organic farming? We would write and say that we were, providing information and that sort of thing. That was partly my role.
And you were doing this in addition to your regular duties at the library?
Yes, I'd been assigned officially 20% of my time to devote to this activity. Meanwhile, I was also a general reference librarian, which is, as you recall, a very active life. And
challenging.
Yes, yes. Let's see, in the Agricultural Productivity Act was eventually written into the 1985 Farm Bill, so it became part of the Farm Bill. and it was passed in 1985.
Was it funded?
It was not funded yet.